What exactly is Double Vision, and what does the title mean to you personally?
Double Vision is the name of my up and coming project, dropping June 1st. Um, I got eye patch on. This ain't cosplay. About 6 months ago, I started experiencing some weird neurological symptoms, um, which literally caused me to have double vision. What's happening is my eyes are not working together with each other, so my right eye is bad, and it's been like a roller coaster type of experience so far. I've had periods of time where I was doing really well, and I actually got sick not too long ago, and for the first time in 3 months, had to put this patch back on, so it sucks. But I felt in my bones that it's time for me to drop another project. My life has been just crazy lately. It's been changing a lot, and so it just felt right to talk about what I'm actually going through and call it that, straightforward. Didn't have to think too hard.
Okay.
Double vision.
You've been very open lately about your health struggles. How much of that found its way into this project?
That has completely inspired this whole project. Every song ain't about my health, but every song is about what I'm going through right now, and I have a lot to talk about. You got to talk about it too. You got to be open about what's going on. Otherwise, people don't know. I'm starting to learn that I have to be the biggest advocate for myself, and believe it or not, it's been more people outside of the hospitals that aren't doctors that have been giving me advice and helping me, and it's only because I've been speaking out about it. So it turned out to be a positive thing.
But what emotions do you want people to feel after listening to this project?
After you listen to this project, you'll definitely get a better understanding of who I am, especially in the current moment. There's some songs that might make you smile, feel grateful. There's some songs that might make you cry. You might be sad. Um, there's some songs that might inspire you, spark a fire inside of you. Um, so a whole range of emotions, but all of it should touch your core. You know what I'm saying? It's soul touching music. It's meaningful. It's really about something. It's not just it's not just rhymes.
Okay. Did making this project help you mentally or emotionally in any way?
I would say yes. Um, in the biggest way, as I was making it, I was realizing what I've been going through, experiencing, and overcoming, and so it opened my eyes to how aware I am of my situation and how drastically different it is from how I've lived in the past, I guess. Sometimes sometimes you got to use your art as your diary, or I don't know. It feels good to get stuff off your chest. So many of these songs that I made felt like I was taking a weight off of my back, or getting something off my chest, or getting something out of my heart that I needed to turn into something physical, that it no longer just resonates inside of me. So it definitely has been somewhat of a healing experience for me.
Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna ask you something. What is the darkest or hardest song on your project for you to listen back to?
Yeah. I damn near cry every time I listen to every one of these songs because of how much they mean to me. I have a song on there, it's called Brave. And Brave is probably the one I listen to the least because it means the most to me, if that makes sense. And it's kind of just me telling my daughter how proud I am of her for being brave, for all the changes that she's been going through alongside with me. And any father that watches a kid go back and forth from home to home is definitely gonna feel it. Even if you're not a father, any parent.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I even need to say any more about that. We don't give our kids enough credit for having to just cope with our mistakes. And so that song is hard for me to listen to because sometimes I feel guilty about it, or but it's my way of getting that off my chest.
Okay, I respect that. I really do. So, is this project more about pain, survival, or is it all of that combined?
It's all of it combined.
Okay.
It's very personal to me. So, like I've said, it's just been a roller coaster ride these past 8, 9, 10 months, even before I started having my health issues. And so there's a lot that for lack of better words, patting myself on the back for. And then there's some stuff that just like flat out like feel ashamed of or not so good about. But overall, it's all of those, it's all of that all wrapped up in one.
Okay. Now I know that earlier you spoke about like being a father and being an upstanding father, and I do respect that. So what I'm going to ask you next is, how has becoming a father affected the way that you create music?
I feel like when you grow, everything changes. The thoughts that ran through my head when I was a teenager, I can't even imagine being who I am now. Recently, I've been speaking to schools and working with, you know, social services and at-risk youth kids, and seeing where they're at has been a full circle moment for me. And part of the initial, situation that has gotten me to be where I am right now is the birth of my daughter. And so being a father, while trying to stay away from the darkness in the past,
Okay.
and while doing something, like making music, making content, it's art. And so to be true to my art, I have to be a reflection of who I am. And I feel like my daughter is such a big part of my life that it's just bled into all that I craft and I work on. I want her to be able to experience it with me. And so most people don't really realize, like, I don't even be cussing in my music. That way I got tired of turning the volume down when we listening to music in the car.
Yes.
Trying to keep as clean of an image as I can, and try to be able to bond and connect with anybody regardless of their age, even if it's kids. Kids look up to us, and so I want to try to be the best role model that I can. And the first person who I'm devoted to being a good role model for is my child. So I definitely say that that's how fatherhood has, affected it.
I love it, bro. I love it. So let's keep moving on. Okay. Does double vision talk more about physical vision or life vision?
Probably both. Um, Probably both. And you'll have to listen to it to see for yourself. But it's just a good metaphor while also being, you know, a literal description of what I'm going through. Sometimes in a metaphorical way, we look at something and it just doesn't seem clear. It's got some fuzziness to it, or it's not lined up, and so yeah, I would say it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. I'm very open and very honest about what I talk about in the music, and so it'll be evident when you listen to it that I'm not just talking about my physical condition.
Okay. Well, since we talk about being open and honest, I got this question for you. What do you think people misunderstand most about you right now?
I've exploded on social media doing content that has nothing to do with my music or um, how nice I really am at this. And so I've spent almost a year now, coming up on a year, full blown content creator mode, and it's changed my life completely. And in that span of time, I haven't dropped any music. So I have a whole bunch of people that know me for that, and an even bigger amount of people that don't know me for that. So I would just say that don't think like I'm just randomly popping out with this. Like this is what I do, and I'm excited to have a much bigger following, a much bigger audience, more eyes on me, this time around dropping this project. It'll be my first project since, I feel like I've made some ground in this world, with my passions.
Okay. So, since we're on the topic of the music, what's one lyric from the project that really hits you every time you hear it? Every time. One lyric.
I have to say, I have to literally breathe so I don't cry. Nah,
it's all good, bro.
I got. You know what? I take the real one that I want to say, and I'm gonna choose the runner up one. Title track. I ain't realized my faith would triple from this double vision. Straight up, my whole life has changed. Like the most thing that we take for granted might be our eyesight or our physical abilities, walking, breathing, thinking clear, hearing, our senses. And when you have one stripped away from you in any way, shape, or form to where it's not operating the way that it's supposed to, it'll change your whole entire like perspective of life. Everything that we experience out here in the world is through our senses, and our sight is such a big one. And so it's definitely caused me to look at things in a different way because I've lost something or lost pieces of something that I'm literally using to look at, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does. What was the recording process like emotionally, and were there sessions that got pretty heavy?
Man, I cried basically every single song. Like every single song I pretty much cried. Like there's some songs like I'm not even trying to be funny or nothing. I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out like, and then wiping my eyes and saying the next line like for real. It all was because when something means something on the depth that these songs mean, like this project means to me, I can't help but have emotional responses to it. And I hope that translates into the listeners and they really feel it, and I know they will. Like it, I feel like everybody, man, we all cry. Ain't nothing wrong with it. We can't be happy all the time. It's a horrible thought experiment to be happy all the time. You need all the emotions, and so yeah, they all were, especially ones that had more to do with my child or kind of like things I've like overcame. But then there were some that when I made, I was just really proud of myself too. Like I got a song on there called "I Hate My Job," and when I made that one, I just had to transport back into who I was in this factory years and years ago, planning my escape, and even just doing that brings out some emotions because I really worked for it, and I'm not ashamed to say that it brings tears to my eyes when I think about all the things that I've been going through and challenges placed in front of me, and little by little I'm jumping over each one.
Yeah, bro.
They all were. Thank you.
I know that earlier you mentioned that you had other projects. So what I'm going to ask you next is, what do you feel like separates Double Vision from your older music?
The further down this road of life that I get, the more I feel like I'm really talking about something. Okay. And I'm getting away from just, lyrical abilities or, stuff that sounds good. I'm really talking about real stuff. And the things that I'm experiencing outside of music are what fuels, what I talk about when I make my music. Mm-hmm. And so my last project that I put out, First String Father, it was just devoted to fatherhood. This one is devoted to who I am now. And it's definitely matured. And there's lots of lessons and inspiration packed in these 7 songs.
Okay. And I can tell that you just really grown with everything. So that brings me to my next question. If somebody was to listen to one song off the project, which one would you tell them to listen to first?
That's tough because they all are so specific. Mm-hmm. But I would say I got a song on there called Supposed to Be. And if you listen to that song, you can you can see where I'm coming from, and just like it's like I'm making a toast to myself or something. I ain't lost no more. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. You'll understand me a whole lot better. It's put together really well too. Like, and it's also one of those songs where you could put yourself in my shoes if you even aren't doing what I'm doing. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's for anybody who looks left and looks right and just realizes like, man, I'm so much I'm so lucky to be where I am like right now. And even though we might not be exactly where we want, we're where we're supposed to be.
One thing I will say, I respect you, bro, as a father and a role model, and I feel like you do a great job of that. So that's what's going to lead me into my next question. What do you hope your daughter understands one day when she listens to this project?
That I try my best. That I'm not perfect, and that it's really hard. But I'm trying my best.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. And it shows, bro. It shows. Don't ever think that it don't. Okay. What would you want to say to somebody currently going through their own battle, physically or mentally?
Do not cave in. Do not give up. Do not think that you are stuck. You are one moment away from changing your entire life. And it all starts with your attitude. Like we just said, we can't be happy all the time. Like everything is not roses. Like life is tough. And when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. It sounds corny, but it's so true. And we're all a lot tougher than we realize. I really honestly feel like 9,999, you know what I'm saying, out of 10,000 people would give up if they was me. I really truly think that people don't understand how hard what I'm doing is and balancing it all together. But I've built my momentum up from not allowing myself to be stuck. And that doesn't make me special. We all have that capability. You just have to put that first foot down and then the second one after it and keep it going. Before you know it, when you turn around, you won't even recognize where you're at anymore. Regardless of what you're battling, what you're going through, fighting through, don't give in on it. Believe in yourself.
And that's I feel like that's very good advice. And people really do need to stick to it. So, what does success for this project actually look like to you?
I'm gonna toss it up to the same thing that these teachers tell me when I go talk to these kids. If you just affect one person, if you make one person say, you know what, I can blah blah blah, I can do this, I can do that. You know what, I need to do this, blah blah blah. It's a win. I just want people to hear me out and try to apply it to their life while also realizing that they're not alone. So if I make one person feel like they're not alone, or one person feel like I respect you for what you're doing. If I make one person shed a tear or laugh or get up out of their bed and say, I'm going to do something different, then it's successful to me. I don't care about no million this or, that doesn't matter to me. It's about the impact. So obviously I like to have the biggest impact that I can, but be the one who sparks the change. That would be successful for me if I just change one person's life.
Last but not least, bro, and we're gonna wrap it up. After Double Vision, where do you see yourself heading next, creatively and personally?
I ain't even gonna lie, I already got my next project done, and you'll see it when it comes. We gonna keep covering topics that you don't hear too many people talking about. We gonna keep on trying to make a difference in the community and being a voice for people who feel like they're silenced. So big things are coming. I'm using this one to just get back on my music tip. It's gonna be the springboard to everything else. So you definitely gotta stay tuned.
Okay. appreciate it. Double Vision, June 1st.
Come on now.
Everybody be ready.
Yeah.
Tap in. Let's take it off. Let's see what it's.
Also, this is my first project under my new artist name, e828. I previously just been going by E, but when you type just E, you can't even find that music anymore. So what do you know? I got my Facebook name. Everybody knows me now as Air828. So I threw the 828 after the E. Now when you type E828, everything pops right up. June 1st, Double Vision is dropping all streaming platforms. Wherever you listen to music, you can listen to my music too. And all you got to do to support it is go to the search button, E828. Double Vision.